Oops, we did it again. A new generation of investors has been wiped out by the masters of greed.
The House of Pain.
Purveyors of bogus merchandise that simply did not belong on any self-respecting stock exchange. As someone who lived through the dot-com collapse, I can tell you that this period is looking a lot like what happened in 2000, 2001, one of the nastiest bear markets of our lifetime. Just like the dot-com era, Wall Street brought a new group of investors into the pool. Millions of them. And they're keeling over because the pool is now poisoned. No wonder we had still one more not-so-hot day, although it sure looked good at the beginning. That's typical of the behavior we're seeing. Dow slipping 125 points, S&P declining 0.21%, although the Nasdaq edged up 0.25%. Ooh, light at the end of the tunnel. Despite the tremendous losses that individual investors are suffering from, companies keep coming public that don't belong in our marketplace. Sure, there have been very few IPOs this year, and far fewer SPACs, too. But they're still coming. I got to say, this SPAC machine is one of the worst scams I've ever seen. If I were the head of the SEC, I would just pause them right now and say, you IPO or you do nothing. It's time for them to speak up, for heaven's sake. It's continuing. Sure, there are some SPACs that have made you money, just like there are some long shots that pay off at the track, for heaven's sake. But as a former handicapper of Summer Now, I can tell you it's much easier to pick winners with the ponies than it is with these special purpose acquisition vehicles. I took a handicapping course at college, worked the tracks around Boston, Philadelphia, and I made far more money than you'll ever see from most of the SPACs that have come public in the last couple of years. More on the SPAC scourge later on. For now, I bring up the dot-com era because I always dreamed of pointing out the people who lost you all that money, who contributed to the destruction of your nest egg back then, drove you to the sidelines. They didn't say you never came back to the market for many people. Full disclosure, I turned negative on the dot-coms a week before the peak in March of 2000, and I told everyone to sell them. I told people to go into bonds, and I made a bundle betting against them from my old hedge fund. I told everyone. Back then, I knew which companies were to blame for the collapse. But you know what? I lacked a major venue to expose them. Not this time.
Don't miss a second of Mad Money. Follow @JimCramer on Twitter. Have a question? Tweet Cramer. #MadTweets. Send Jim an email to madmoney@cnbc.com. Or give us a call at 1-800-743-CNBC. Miss something? Head to madmoney.cnbc.com.